Hey guys, it's been great few years working on this project. I learned a lot about behind the scenes and meeting new creators.
Yeah, and I think it was really cool for all of us to start something like this, even though at the time we didn't have the skills or the knowledge to actually take on this project. And then we just saw it through. We gained those skills and knowledge over time. So for me, that was a really cool experience. Showed me that you don't really need to know what you're doing before you get started sometimes, and it'll still turn out okay.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed getting involved with the GBDA community and learning from all the creators we've had on the show.
Watching the team grow as individuals and as groups was also very rewarding. We have evolved a lot as a project, and I think we're quite happy about where we are at now. So to end it off, we've decided to create an episode about us, each of our team members and our processes, so you guys can understand more about what goes on behind the camera for GBDA creators.
Hope you enjoy it. So the project started off after a collaboration with Matt. We went on a photo shoot, and after the photo shoot, he came over and we started editing and stuff like that. And then just looking at his process, it's completely different from mine. And I'm like, okay, this is cool. Like, I want to collaborate with more people. And after collaborating with a bunch of other photographers, I'm like, how can I show this to everyone? Like, how can I stream this? When we started off, it was not structured. We were still figuring stuff out. We were starting out, and none of the guys knew what it took to produce these videos. It was time consuming, and we did not have proper understanding of the technology. Watched a lot of YouTube videos and honestly playing around with the devices. That's how we figured out stuff. The core team at the beginning was me directing, Justin project managing and film, Dan was editor, and Sim was helping us co-direct and marketing stuff. Also, Pranil brought in the talent, and he was a communication guy. Starting out this project, I prefer to work with friends because it was more open-ended. Communication was better. We all collaborated. We were learning together. We were all at the same stage. I felt comfortable asking them to work on this project because I knew them, and they were all GBDA.
So Rue told me about the idea of GBDA creators while he was coming up from the elevator. It was literally an elevator pitch to me. I thought we should play video games, but we came up and he was telling me about GBDA creators and this big idea that he had. We discussed, is this even possible? Is this a thing that we are able to be doing? And I wasn't really sure about it. It was just a brand new concept to me. But thinking about it more and more, and as the team came together, I realized that we had the skills to get something like this done. We were able to get some videos published and receive good feedback on it. When I started, I wasn't really sure what my role was going to be in creators. I didn't really have a main focus, a main kind of skill set, so I just kind of figured out what was possible for me to do. I saw that Rue was struggling with the audio cut and just condensing the episode to be a little bit shorter, so I tried to step in and then help him out there. So instead of having the 30 minutes of footage that we had, we wanted to cut it down to 5 minutes even. So I was there to look at that and try to get the story captured within that 5 minutes. When I was helping him out, I realized that I can get this done and get it shortened down within hours. And I was like, okay, this is kind of fun. I can work on this as my main role. As time went on and the more episodes we did, I wanted to be more involved and I wanted to take on more of a task. So I asked Rue and the rest of the team if I can take on more of this work, and they all agreed and said, let's go for it. I worked closely with Rue, since he was the director at the time, to make sure that we came up with something at the end that we were all happy with. GBDA creators needed to be a part of the GBDA community because there was nothing like this before. The main goal of GBDA creators was to inspire other people to take on their own personal projects and create something that was their own.
So when GBDA Creators first started, I actually came on as assistant director to Rue. He was the one that told me about the project, and he said he really wanted somebody to help him with planning and storyboarding and things like that. So that was my initiation into GBDA Creators. But quickly after that, my role started changing to do a little bit of everything that was involved in this production. So first I went to graphic design, then I went to social media and filming the behind the scenes footage and even editing it. So my role started to encompass a whole bunch of different things. And then after about a year of doing this project, we kind of shifted our focus from being about individuals in the program to more of groups in the program that were doing cool things and collaborating with one another. So when we had the shift in mentality of what we wanted creators to be, that's when I stepped up to be co-directors with Rue, because we really wanted to drastically change our vision for this, and that's kind of where we're at right now. I think it would be a little bit misleading or dishonest to try and say that we didn't have our fair share of problems when taking on this project, because when you work on something of this scope, you're bound to run into some issues, and especially when you're working with a group of friends, it becomes a little bit difficult to try and reconcile your personal relationships and your professional relationships at the same time. So we had a lot of issues and bumps along the road trying to figure out, I want to convey this idea to the team, or I think this would be better than this, but you don't want to come down too harshly on anyone because you're still trying to be friends at the end of the day, right? So trying to juggle those two things was a little bit of a nuanced dance. It was a little bit tricky, but overall, I think there were a lot more pros to working with friends than cons, and I find that the team dynamic, all of us coming together like this, has been really, really nice for the project. To be completely honest, I was actually really surprised that we followed through with GBDA Creators as long as we did. I thought that we were going to start this production and then maybe like, I don't know, a few months in or a few episodes in, we would say, all right, that was cool, we did that, and now we're kind of done with it, we're going to move on. But that's not what happened at all. Everybody on the team was really enthusiastic about carrying this project forward, and we ended up continuing it for years now, which blows my mind to think about it still. So really, really happy that we did as well, because now we kind of have an established presence in Stratford as well. So we actually had Stratford contact us and say, hey, what do you guys think are some cool projects that people are doing right now for Showcase? Like, who do you want nominated? And to get that recognition from the institution itself to say, hey, we have a sense of what people are up to, what kind of pulse is going on in Stratford, is really cool. So I'm really glad that we carried the project as far as we did, because we've learned a lot from it as well, and it's been really successful.
When GBDA Creators first started, we are very fractioned up. We briefly knew what our roles are, but that's just about it. I mean, we came together and we had a production team, but running a production is a lot more than that. It's a lot more than knowing what you're doing. I first started designing our first ever workflow, from the pre-interview contact to release. Throughout these years, this process has it was continually improved upon. So working with friends, everything is business as usual. I draw up project scopes, production workflows, enforce deadlines. Those are, nothing's really different about that. But one thing that we had to focus on was conflict resolution. It's very important to strike the balance where concerns professionally don't reach into our personal relationships, I guess. So that's a little tricky to deal with, and I think that's one of the biggest hurdles that I had in my job. In GBDA Creators, another thing that was really important was maintaining project scope. Our directors, who would push for very ambitious ideas, sometimes could be out of scope, and it is my job to kind of strike the balance and say hey, we can't do this thing in our 2-week work schedule. That was something I had to do, and I find that that's also a big part of my job, is just to kind of wrestle a balance between our ambition, our creativity, and what's possible in the time frame and resources we have. So not only did our production processes change, not only did our strategies change, there are changes to the team as well. In the last 2 terms, we brought in Boo, who is our motion graphics designer, and also Jacob, who's our social media guy. And also within the team, our roles shift sometimes because this is a whole process of us exploring our talents. So roles change.
Well, I joined the team at the beginning of the semester. I always knew I wanted to get into this project that they're doing. I know all these guys since year one. They're all my friends, so it's a great opportunity to work with them. Since I know them, it'll be fun. I joined this team as a social media manager. It's a key role in our project. Just trying to engage with fans, get more followings, and just expand our videos. As being a social media manager, I was staying on track of YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. So those are our 3 main platforms for releasing. And we were just engaging with our fans, our followers, and spotlighting different groups. For Instagram and Facebook, we're posting new content. We have new creators / groups that we have now. And we're also going down memory lane. We're featuring previous creators from last season, and we're using their quotes in their episodes as posts.
I knew that if I was going to join a project or a team that I knew no one in it, then I had to be at least confident in my skills that, of course, I can deliver. But at the same time, I also know that the people in the projects, this was all done on their own. They did not need any hand-holding. This was all because of their hunger, their passion. So I knew that if I was going to join a group of people who I didn't even know, at least there's one thing I knew about them: competent, passion, willing to learn. I thought that I could probably share something that I know, like there's something that I know. There's also something I would like to add to the group. Maybe, make new friends. Why not, right? So that's why I joined GBDA Creators. So I did some soul searching with the help of GBDA Creators because I knew how to film. I knew how to edit, I knew how to animate, but it's like all these people, all these talented people, they already have those roles already. What is there left for me, right? There was also storyboarding and concepting, that was also someone else. So with a little bit of reflecting, I thought that maybe the logo could use some spicy animations, right?
Hey guys, thank you for watching. We hope that you as the audience will be motivated to pursue your own interests, initiatives, I know we have school and everything and people are busy, but it just really calls for time management and making sure that you're doing something you love. So yeah, pursue your dreams, break a leg.
Yeah, just thank you all for your support throughout the years that we've been doing GBDA Creators. If it wasn't for you guys encouraging us and telling us that you liked what we were doing, we probably would have stopped a long time ago. So thank you guys, the viewers, for that.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Yeah, cheers.
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 Alright, yeah. Because we never sync audio, so this clap is gonna be key.
Clap, clap, clap.
Oh man. Alright. Why did you clap at the same time? We're gonna have a problem syncing now. Don't do this! There we go. Ask us, all you guys GBDA creators, what do you think of this? Like for Project Showcase, we got asked you what we think. It's okay. Jeez.
We were like, okay, cool. Yeah. The core team was me, Justin, Pernell, Dan, Sim, and they were all my friends, so I felt comfortable asking them out, like, with this project. I mean, okay. No, okay. Yeah.
Okay, so came to me. No, not to me. Hold on. Audio starts in at 6:46. Okay. That's just a mental. Okay. So. Okay. Okay. Alright. Take 4,500. Okay, what is the question again?
There's a lot. There is a lot of it. Actually, hold on. My friend is now. Good?
I don't like this side of my head, so use these shots a little less. Huh? Please don't put that in. Yeah, I'm good. Oh yeah. Okay, we good?
Okay, that's 5 times. One. And you have to be on this for you.
I don't know what I'm on.
Okay, flashlight up. Here, flashlight.
Yeah. Okay. So my rolls when the rolls because okay, try again. I'm try it again. Okay. So and sometimes we do bicker and project scopes, workflows, the doors not closed. Now, okay.
Wait, what? Let's go.
Give it some
Oh,
pause, yeah. Because,
Should I clap?
no. Just give it some pause. It's okay.
Alright, so sorry, from Facebook, Instagram, and Facebook. Did I say Facebook? So the first thing is a.
And that's all it was.
We're confident, but we're also looking forward to learning together. Together, unbelievable. The first time I met you guys was that I was carrying Popeyes, eating at the meeting for the first time. I guess you guys would chill with it, so no big deal.